Previously on...
Yo, fuck that noise, we got no time, let's go! And you got some nice titties, damn! Anyway, and you,
Takeshi, don't bother. All you'll do is encourage her. And we need to get moving. If there are any darklings nearby, they must have heard a commotion Zara caused.
Don't bother worrying about that. There aren't any darklings or underworlders anywhere near here. And I should know, yeah. Though I had only just met Zara, I was quickly, gaining an appreciation as to why Asahi was speaking so scornfully of her, yeah. So I did my best to ignore the lurker, along with the fresh bumps and bruises and more that I had just acquired because of her, and tried to bend down and slide my arms beneath Asahi's battered frame. But even as I was trying to focus or force my body to heave Asahi back up off the ground and force myself into a standing position, I felt a hand on my shoulder. Say what now? It's pretty obvious that you're not from around here. Not with what you're wearing, yeah, and I know faces now. If I'd seen you before, I'd definitely remember it. Before I could even think of coming up with a clever response to this, I felt a hand upon my posterior. And I would never have forgotten this. It was all I could do to avoid falling on top of Asahi and hurting her even more. But as I squawked and struggled to avoid such a ignominious, the blonde archer managed to push herself up somewhat and glared fiercely at Zara.
Leave him alone, Zara. He's a traveler. Due to this land, his name is Takeshi.
Uh-huh. And why do I get the feeling that there's a lot more that you're not telling me? Especially since you're absolutely stink at lying. Groaning in dismay at this, I paused in my efforts to look over my shoulder at Zara, only to find her glaring right into my eyes. So Takeshi, you're not from around here. And it looks like Asahi doesn't want to talk about where he came from. This just got interesting. I thought about saying something, but I couldn't really think of anything after everything that had happened. All I could do is crouch there and watch as Zara stood up straight and smirk. I'll be looking forward to seeing you again, Takeshi. Assuming that the dead weight doesn't get killed first. She's not a fucking dead weight, okay? Fuck! Wait, what the? In mid-sentence, Zara disappeared from sight. Just like that. She had blurred, and an instant later, she was gone. Oh, is that how it is? You just grab my fucking posterior and fucking just, that's how it is, girl! Leaving me crouched as Asahi sighed and groaning in dismay.
Dead weight. Oh.
A dead weight? Oh, I mean, yeah, what am I even? Got it.
Just ignore her, Takeshi. We don't have time to waste. If there are any darklings nearby, Zara's antics will have them heading this way for sure.
I knew Asahi was right, but the lurker in her attitude had my dander up. And though I wasn't one for anger, everything I had been through that day had put me close to needing but one final straw to make me blow my stack, I mean. So I decided to do something constructive, and instead pushing my body for all of the strength I could muster to lift Asahi up into my arms once more. You're right, girl, yeah. But I really do hope that we don't run into her again. I mean, damn. We've got, good enough trouble on our fucking plate as it is, so,
And on that, you'll get no arguments from me.
Yeah. Fortunately, for what little was left of my sanity, the remainder of our trip to Kaehae village went in relative silence. The time passed by Asahi and myself exchanging minimal conversation. Talking about our, parents and other such matters, yeah. Speaking of things that were completely unrelated to our current situation in the raging war that we had narrowly escaped from, if only for the moment. As such, it was a great relief that I noticed a growing light ahead of us. Oh! One that pierced the darkness that had come with the growing night. And as my eye adjusted to the change in luminosity, Asahi heaved a deep sigh of relief. Oh!
There it is! Kaehae Village! We made it!
Yo, it's a fort! Damn! Anyway, there was no real joy in Asahi's words. She knew that our coming here was merely a reprieve from the horrors we had experienced thus far. But there was clear relief in her voice, in the knowledge that we had gained at least a brief respite from our ordeal and a chance to lick our wounds. As I carried her own words, I studied the structure that laid ahead. Kaehae Village was surrounded by walls made up of blocks. There were several people who appeared to be armed with crossbows marching the very top of the walls. I see you guys, yeah. And several crystals similar to Zara's lightstone, but larger, providing life for us all. You won't be long now, I think. Yeah, we'll help you fix it up in no...
Halt! Identify yourself!
What? I froze so fast I would have sworn I had just, been dunked in liquid nitrogen. I'm down. The fact that every villager's marching the top of the walls presently had his or her crossbow aimed right at me likely had something to do with it.
It's me, Asahi of Kaehae. And this man is Takeshi. He's the reason I was able to get back here.
There was a deep, ugly silence as the guards seemed to look about themselves.
What about the others? What happened to them?
I had precisely enough time to wonder what the guard meant by others when I noticed Asashi's face falling in grief. And then, to my horror, I realized that whenever she had gone to fight the underworld forces, she had not set off alone.
They were all turned to darkness. I was the only one who was able to escape.
I couldn't really make out the expression of the guards, thanks to the light shining up from up where they were and the sheer distance between us. But I could see the way they seemed to be looking at each other and speaking among themselves. And what I could see gave me a bad feeling, But as they continued to mutter among themselves, I glanced down at Asahi, whose features were creased with shame and sorrow. And I found myself wondering what exactly she had gone through before we had met. But even more importantly, her strength seems to wane before my eyes, leaving me even more concerned for her welfare. Girl, or guys, yeah, I'm sorry, alright? But Asahi's hurt and needs some medical attention and stuff, so, if you could just let us in, please, sirs, ma'am? I took a tentative step forward even as I spoke. Oh, what the fuck? Only to very nearly fall over when a fucking arrow whizzed down and struck the ground mere inches from me where I fucking placed my friend. What? Guys, girls, what?
Forgive me, Asahi, but I can't let you back inside the village.
Completely taken aback by this unexpected statement, I looked up and focused on one of the guards, a powerful built man who was aiming a fucking crossbow similar to Asahi right at us.
What? San, what are you talking about?
Can you see that she's hurt? Or
Fuck, can you see that she's hurt now? She needs fucking help. In fact, she needs clothes. Fuck!
I don't enjoy doing this, but I can't open the gates to Kaehae Village.
Who's the other one?
Forgive me, Asahi, but I can't let you back inside the village. Not with him present.
What? San, that's crazy. Can't you see? Takeshi's not a darkling.
Maybe, or maybe, but he could be an underworlder.
Once again, I was taken back by Zan's words, but at the same fucking time, I found myself seeing how what he was saying would make sense from his perspective. Yeah. From what Asahi had told me, the people of her village and every other village in the overworld had learned a very hard lesson about the danger of trusting a stranger. And even as I glanced down at Asahi, I could tell that she had not even considered this possibility.
What? But he's not an underworlder. Well,
I could tell that Asahi was flustered and had no idea at the moment as to how to explain the possibility that I wasn't even from their world. And as for me, my shock was fading and was giving way to annoyance. I'd already been through a great fucking deal and have been subjected to tremendous turmoils as a result of everything that had happened. And I pinned my hopes on getting to this fucking village. And here we fucking are, yeah, right outside the gates. And what? They won't even let us fucking in? But, bruh, wait a minute. Look, listen. If I was an underworld, right? Why would I bring Asahi back here to Hellfield? What?
Dude, to trick us into opening our gates and making it easier, yes, for your darklings to break in and overwhelm us.
Groaning deep in my fucking throat, I found myself once more unable to argue with the logic behind Zan's suspicions. Making it even worse was the fact that, according to Asahi, he had only seen 3 underworlders, when there was doubtlessly more where they had come from. And on top of that, my clothing definitely marked me as being, different. Even though I only had my pants and shoes on, and they were different enough from the standard garbs, I guess. I mean, it looks like you got similar pants as us. I mean, anyway. Yeah, garbs of the people here that they could be recognized as being alien from them. Look, I'm not one of those monsters, alright? Look, Asahi, you don't think I'm anything like one of them, do you?
Of course not. San, please, trust me. He's not an underworlder. He's already risked his life and gone through great pain to bring me back here. Why would the underworlders do something like that when their forces already outmatched us?
To win their battles that much easier. After all, that's the sort of tactics they use to amass their forces in the first place.
I wasn't happy about this guy, at all, but there was no arguing with his logic. And while I was getting increasingly annoyed, I still remembered that this guy was basically doing his job and trying to protect his village. So yeah, I guess I'll forgive it. Getting mad at him or trying to argue with him wouldn't accomplish anything by giving him more reason to leave us standing around outside when Asahi was still fucking hurt and fucking half-ass naked, yeah? And so I racked my brain, trying to come up with a different angle, something I could use. Okay, guys, won't you at least let Asahi back in, and treat her with medication and clothes, huh? Look, man, I could just set her right outside the gate and then step away so you can, get her back in, yeah? Then you won't be letting me in at the same time. How about that? Zan raises an eyebrow at this, but before he said anything, another of the guards moved to his side and whispered something into his ear. But even as they spoke, Asahi placed her hand upon my shoulder.
Takeshi, no! You're not one of them, I know that!
You know I'm not underworld, and I know that too, girl, alright? But I don't think we're gonna be able to convince that fucking asshole of that, okay? Besides, you're hurt, and you need help, okay?
So are you?
Wincing as Asahi reminded me of the numerous physical injuries I had suffered that day, I probably sighed and gave her a smile with a stiff upper lip. Yeah, but hey, it's better that at least one of us get patched up instead of neither of us, right?
I know, but... Liliana, but wait, you don't understand,
What? What? Now I was really getting confused. What? Asahi was acting like I wasn't even there anymore. And someone else was there in my place? What? But before I could give any real thought to try to figure shit out, the latest headache dealt to me by this bizarre world, Zan spoke once again.
Boy, what is your name?
Me? My name is Takeshi, sir.
If you are sincere about allowing Asahi to be treated, then we will allow you to deliver her to the gate as soon or as you so offered. But keep in mind that we will be watching for any signs of treachery. In the instant you deliver Asahi to our door, you are to retreat from it and remain within our view at all times. Is that understood?
He considered this, feeling at least some relief that Asahi's people weren't going to abandon her. Of course, that still left me in a lurch. But hey, half of love was better than none. And besides, perhaps me doing this would at least help show these people that I wasn't their enemy, yeah? As I reached this conclusion, I returned my focus to Asahi, who was still having a conversation with, someone.
If you could just have Dawn examine him, yes? I know how important she is, but Liliana, please, you can't just...
At this point, Asahi's face fell in regret, right before she let out a deep sigh.
Alright. If that is your final decision, I tried to explain to the head of our village that you weren't an enemy, but she won't risk the safety of our people for
a complete stranger? Yeah, I know. The way Asahi winced made it clear that I read this right, but seeing fresh shame in her expression made me feel guilty as well. And while I was definitely upset about the cold reception we were getting, I wasn't about to take it out on her. Oh God, look, let's get you taken care of first, okay? And while you're in there, maybe you can find some way to convincing whoever the fuck you were talking to that I'm not a bad guy, yeah?
I'll try, but Eliana has become very cautious since the war with the underworld started and... I probably should explain, as I mentioned before, the village head can communicate with anyone under their care.
Nodding to this, I started towards the gate, making certain to keep an eye on the guards on the off chance that any of them got itchy fucking fingers, you know what I'm saying? Right, okay, I got that, yeah. Listen girl, isn't there any way for me to prove that I am not an underworlder? Like some kind of, I don't know, a test I could take?
Dawn is capable of sensing the power of the underworld in anyone, but she can only do so from a very close range, which would mean that she would either have to come outside or we would have to let you in. Unfortunately, she's the only one of her kind we have right now, so Ileana won't want to risk her in any way.
Okay, makes sense, I guess. Yeah. With that, I turned my attention to the formidable walls that surrounded Kaehae village. Like everything else, they were made up of blocks, but there was a set of blocks that were clearly a different shade than the rest of them. And they were suitable in such a way that made it clear that they were doors. So I made my way towards them, all the while aware that I had at least a dozen crossbow trained on me at all times.
I really am sorry about all this.
Smiling at this, I hefted Asahi up a bit more, my arms more tired than I wanted to admit from having to support her slender and supple form, you know what I'm saying, for as long as I had. Drawing my breath as I adjusted my balance to compensate. Hey girl, look, I understand. You just do me a favor and, try to convince them to let me in as... Ah! What? My foot had caught on the rut that I hadn't even seen, sending fresh paint through my frame and knocking me off balance. Cringing in realization, shit, I already struggled to compensate even as I staggered towards the gate, but Asahi was just heavy enough to make it that much more difficult to finally recover, and so I stumbled forward with increasing speed, until I realized that I was about to smash into the gate with Asahi in my cranium about to take the brunt of the blow. At the same time, I managed to pivot on my heel and fell against the gate shit with my back to it, which still wasn't pleasant, but it was better than fucking alternative, you know what I'm saying?
Are you alright?
Yeah, girl, don't worry. Yeah, sure. Just another bruise, you know what I'm saying? I have to go with all this rest of them and, Boy, what are you doing? Fuck, wincing at the sound of Zan's voice, I look up from my uncomfortable stance with my back to the gate and saw several crossbows aimed clumsily at us. And while our proximity to the wall made it difficult for me to really see anything, I could definitely imagine Zan's unhappy expression.
It's alright, Zan. He just tripped, that's all.
Yeah, like you give a fuck. After everything we've been through, seriously, fuck. Why couldn't they just open the fucking doors? Why can't... Door? Just as I was thinking this, I felt the gate that supported me move away. Still dependent upon the gate for support, I was completely unprepared and was unable to do anything but cry out of surprise as I fell backwards to the ground with Asahi issuing a cry of shock. Oh! Cry of shock? Right before she crashed on top of me, and damn! Damn girl, crying shock, girl, you look damn happy, I mean, damn. I mean, shit, I ain't complaining because I'm happy what is going on, yeah. Oh!